I got his dick too hard, he gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, pretty little toes, stunting on these hoes. Buy another bag soon as I get paid. Bad little vibe, keep up by my side. Case a dirty bitch, gotta catch this fade. Do it all the time, still I'm in my prime. Couple new blessings every time we pray. Trip too hard, got his dick too hard, he gon' fuck around and drown. Pretty little toes, stunting on these hoes. Buy another.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, recently I posted a question for you guys, actually a video. So if you're not following me, you should follow me. I will post my Instagram right here, somewhere, or here. And I asked you guys pretty much which off-tropic you guys wanted to see me, which palette you wanted to see me do a look with. And so, like 79% of you guys chose the Hasta La Vista. So that's the one that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to show you what they both look like though, so that way you can see them. Just because I know that I didn't post like what they look like, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know what they look like already because they've been blasted all over social media. This is the Hasta La Vista. This is the one that I'm going to be using today. It's pretty much just like a rainbow of colors. It's very, very beautiful. These palettes, both of them are very pigmented. One's a little more natural than the other. I'm pretty excited because typically all the looks that I do on YouTube, they're not really, I would say, like quote unquote colorful. So I'm happy that I'm able to like bring that to you guys because I know that that's something that I do a lot on Instagram. So this one is the Shifting Sands. This is the one that you guys didn't choose. This is the more natural one. So once again, anyways, like I was saying, this one has a mixture of 4 shimmers, which is going to be these two, the green and the gold, and then these two, the orange and the purple. But yeah, anyways, the one that I'm going to be using today has only 2 shimmers and 2, 4, 6, 8 mattes. So I'm going to pop off camera. I will be right back with this side done and we will figure out what we're doing. So okay guys, so let's jump right into the tutorial. Okay guys, so I'm back. This is the look that I came up with. It's very, I don't know if you guys like it. I think it's very pretty. It's very like warm tone on the top and then like kind of sort of cool tone on the bottom. So this is the look that we're going to recreate on this side. These lashes are, oh, to die for. So starting out, all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix together the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealers in the shade 7 and 1. I like to do this especially for my eye shape. Dries matte, and so what that does is it allows your eyeshadows to go on top of it and not really stick to the concealer, more so just like blend easier. So that's kind of why I mix them together. So typically what I do is I'll put them on the back of my hand. What I do is I take a brush, the brush that I'm going to use to apply this on my eye, kind of circle them together, and then what I start to do is I just start to press the brush on my eye, lightly tapping it. Not really trying to like force it into my eye, but I'm just kind of pressing the concealer over my eye. If you want, totally feel free to use your sponge, or if you have another brush, I'm gonna use this brush just to kind of like pat it down and out, so this way the lid doesn't have too much on it. This palette's a little dusty from me jumping into it so much. I'm going to be taking a NYX 13 brush, and I'm going to start by going into this color right here, and all I'm going to do is in small little motions, I'm just going to press the color where I want it, and then I'll go back and build it up. So more so towards the crease of my eye, because I'm going to add the depth with darker colors, and everything's just going to blend upwards. Go in with the hot pink straight above on it's the second eyeshadow on the top, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to press that right on top of it. Just kind of like an overlay. All it's pretty much doing is gonna help marry that color to the like transitions, so that way it's not so like harsh. Back in with that first color that we used, this color right here. I'm just gonna go back into the crease and just repress it. I'm trying to keep the darkness separating the two because one is lighter, one is darker. What I'm gonna do now is take a blending brush, just a round brush, and I'm going to kind of just buff over the colors. What this is going to do for me is it's going to disperse the color, so that way I get that nice diffused look without adding too much or getting it too harsh, because it's going to be way harder to kind of take away than add on. Okay, so my goal too, I didn't tell you guys this at all, but my goal for using the palette was I wanted to use all the colors from it. So I pretty much did that. The only one that I didn't use was this gold one. But we're going to incorporate that in just a second. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take that same 13 brush that I was using previously, and I'm going to dip into this darker like burgundy-esque shade. And what I'm going to do with that is kind of start to pack it just like on the outer corner. So just like this, in small motions, I'm just kind of adding it on. So that way I get that depth right there. I'm going to kind of just lay it on the side. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to press the brush down onto my lid and just kind of buff it upwards. What that's going to do is it's going to place the color into the crease and add the depth without me kind of going in there and pressing it in a little bit. Because what's going to happen is if I go straight in and press it and try to blend it in, it's just going to keep going higher and higher and higher. But with the tip that I'm showing you, if you kind of press it on your lid and then diffuse it upwards, you're more so in control. So you won't have too much color flying everywhere for you. I want the depth to be all the way through, so when I cut it, there's that harsh line. Like you see right here, you see that red? And then it bounces to that back color. That's kind of what I want to happen with that's what I want to happen with this side, so that's why I'm doing that. The last step for that is I'm just taking that same blending brush that I previously used, and I'm just going to run that straight on the top just to kind of diffuse that color out again. And literally that's like the hardest part of the tutorial, is just kind of building up the color to get that gradient, and we just did that in like less than a minute. A little bit more of the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer in the shade 1 on the back of my hand. If you guys can see, the product that's still there is still wet. Like if I swatch it, it's still wet. So that's why I'm doing just the one, because I want it to be a little bit brighter. And I'm going to go in with a brush that is very thin that I can use to cut my crease out. And I'm just going to swirl that into the mix. I'm going to just press both sides up against my hand, so that way the brush is as smooth as possible. What I'm going to just start from my inner corner, up and over, and then I'll start to fill in that line that I created. So I'm gonna go in with this purple shade right here. She is más bonita. And all I'm gonna do is take it on a flat brush, literally just gonna start to press that, and that's gonna marry the darker color to this color. Right there together. I'm just wiggling my brush right on top of both of them, and that'll kind of lock them together. Shade right here, and I'm going to literally just take that on the same brush. I cleaned it off, and I'm just going to press it right on top of the concealer. This palette is a pressed pigment palette, so you kind of have to pack it before you can blend it to kind of get the like full pigmentation. This palette isn't like a regular palette. You're not just gonna put this on the eye and it's gonna look like perfect. Like, you do kind of have to finesse it a bit, but the only reason that it's created like that is so it isn't a high intensity like super bomb palette. You just need to work a little bit to make sure that the color's reading true to the color in the pan. Is take the Slide On Glide On liner in the shade Sky Blue, Sunrise Blue, and I'm going to work that from inner corner all the way out. The cool thing about this eyeliner is that it's not like a regular eyeliner, it's more like a mousse formula. So what that means is when you go to put the eyeliner on your eye, it's not as difficult and you don't really get the tug. Typically when an eyeliner tugs on your eye, that means that it's going to start to like, well, it just means typically it's a drier formula and it's a little bit harder to work with. It could cause wrinkles on your skin just because you're pulling so much. But with these liners, you don't have any issues with them, which is why these are my favorite. The black liner that I used all the time that was in the pencil form is literally this exact one. It's just not shimmery. It's just matte black. And I feel like once these set, they're set. They're not going to move on you. Little lip brush, and I'm going to go into the blue tone right here. And all I'm going to do is kind of coat the brush back and forth, and I'm just going to press that right on top of that liner. It's okay if you go a little bit above it, it just makes it look more smoked out. So there's not really, you don't lose points on that, son. You don't lose points on that, sis. I just want to bathe my entire body in this blue. I want to paint my life this blue. When I die, I want to be in a coffin that is this blue. My favorite color, one of my favorite colors is blue, and this is just like everything. This combo together just gives me like hella hardcore life. NYX had launched the Off Tropic palettes. These also launched next to them. These are the Off Tropic liners, and they are the most beautiful, intense. I'm trying not to mess this up because they're very limited edition, but they're so vibrant and they're so, oh, I love the colors. They're so fresh. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to just line my waterline. So literally just taking it and applying it on the waterline. A brush that I use to prime my eye, and I'm going to run that straight underneath. Just because I need that little bit of concealer under there, so that way the colors stick. So now I'm going to dip into the green. So just like this, working it from inner corner midway. Go back into that blue, right here, and I'm going to take that and just run that the rest of the way. This light pink right here on the top, and I'm going to take that same blending brush that we used to diffuse the color. I'm going to run that just right over the top of it. This part is where I want to build up a little bit more color, not get it too intense, but have a little bit more of like it diffused. And then what you can do is you can take the one that has the primer on it, or the eyeshadow. You can take the brush that has the concealer on it and kind of just scrape along the top. That's what I like to do. And it'll kind of take away if it goes too high. Which I've got lid space for days, but I love this look because it just looks so much cleaner when you still have like space up there. It's so sexy to me. So lastly, there's only 2 colors left and they're right on top of each other. And you might be thinking, what are you going to do with the yellow? What about the yellow? Yellow? I'm going to take a brush, I'm going to take that yellow, and I'm going to just run that right out here on my brow. Just kind of just flicking it. You can see the color start to build up on itself. We're not trying to get like intense yellow, just enough to where it's there, because I ain't trying to do a whole yellow brow. And I like to take whatever is left on that brush, just kind of tapping it off, and just press that right up in the front. Now, with whatever's left on the brush, after all of that, you're going to take that and run that straight on the bottom. Lashes, and these are in the style, you guys can't see it, Breathless. So this is what they look like up close. You ready? These lashes are super, super comfortable. They're super black and they look and feel amazing on your eye. Oh, look at how beautiful that is. It's stunning. It's sick. It's crazy how beautiful these lashes are. Like, I can't. Last little steppy step of this tutorial is we're just going to take that gold that was in the palette right there in the middle, and I'm going to take a small brush and I'm just going to pack that straight in the inner corner. Right, but I'm not done. Now I'm going to go into the Born to Glow highlighting palette, and I'm going to take, if I can get this thing open, I'm going to take the white right here, and I'm going to run that straight on the top of that. And what that's going to do is going to give me a boss ass inner corner highlight. So this is the look. I think it's very beautiful. looking at the palette and looking at how much like capability you have of doing something so bold and creative and colorful is ridiculous, because NYX does have some colorful palettes, but this one is like no other palette that NYX has ever launched. Like I said, it is a pressed pigment. Like I said, it is a pressed pigment palette, so it does take a little bit of work to kind of build up the color. But once you do, honey, she is bold as fuck. And on top of that, I'm just really happy that I created something that I really liked. I mean, I've used this palette for like a while now, and I know how they perform. I asked you guys which one you wanted to see, and you told me this one. So I'm hoping that you guys really like this tutorial. If you guys want to keep seeing me do like palette tutorials where I do looks based on a palette or from the palette, or if you guys even like that I did a look with this whole palette, give this video a thumbs up so that way it keeps me in the know. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys learned. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. So until then, bye.
I got his dick too hard, he gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, pretty little toes, stunting on these hoes. Buy another bag soon as I get paid. Bad little vibe, keep up by my side. Case a dirty bitch, gotta catch this fade. Do it all the time, still I'm in my prime. Couple new blessings every time we pray. Trip too hard, got his dick too hard, he gon' fuck around and drown. Pretty little toes, stunting on these hoes.